Welcome to Metamorphosis, your podcast for growth and transformation. Today I'm having this beautiful woman sitting on opposite from me, Amy. I met her in Portugal. At the beach, it was so funny how we met. We will come to the story soon. But first, I want to say, welcome, Amy. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so looking forward to hear for your story and yes, your soul purpose.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. And we just talked a bit before the recording started. It was such a beautiful conversation, like always, like in Portugal back then too. So
Yeah.
it was really funny how we met because I already told I met a lot of people, and yes, it was always heartwarming and open. But then I was sitting at the beach, and you said, "Hello, are you Katharina?" And
I knew your name already.
yeah, when my face was like, you told me later your face fell off, like, how does the universe do this?
I know. So I wasn't a stalker. What actually happened was that I met Moon, a
Mhm.
friend of Katharina's, and Moon told me, "Oh, go talk to her, she's really lovely." So I went up to her on the beach and we sat together and just had a chat for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And at the evening, we met again for girl dinner with
Yes.
me, and it was also what we needed in a way, I guess, all three of us.
Big time. It was so heartwarming for me because I had spent a few nights having dinner by myself and having a couple of girls come up to me and be like, "Oh, come join us for dinner," was honestly the best thing. Yeah, I felt very grateful.
Totally, I can just say the same. And Moon also wrote a beautiful poem about it. And
Yeah.
maybe I can put it in the info box or show notes.
Yeah.
Her poem because it's so heartwarming. Because she just had the same experience. She just manifests. I want to meet the girls again, and I want to have dinner. I want to cook because that's what she did back then in the States. And
Yeah. That's like her love language, isn't it? She likes to cook and
totally,
yeah.
totally. Yes, and we had a really huge dinner, fancy with wine and cheese and bread and
Yeah.
uh, chicken. It was like and chocolate. It was never
Yeah.
enough. It was like I'm feeling so rich and glad.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Although on this day I was limping and my feet
Oh
were
my gosh, you were?
yes, yes. It was like because I had the 15-kilometer walk and had the wrong shoes, and then I had blisters, and they get open. And it was the day. Do you remember we were sitting at the beach, and I was like, "Oh my god, my whole toe doesn't respond, and
Yeah.
I don't know it's self check, and I don't
Yeah.
know how to get in there, and my feet are bleeding, and the walk it was 3 kilometers from the beach,
Yeah.
and uphill, and and it was hot this day, and I was like."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was totally praying to the universe the whole walk and say, "Please, please figure this out
Yeah.
to
So much uncertainty.
yes."
Yeah.
And right in front of the door, it all figured out, and the woman called me, and I got to check in, and everything was fine. And
Yeah.
another day, I would never leave my bed again,
Yeah.
but this had the invitation to this dinner, and I was like, "Oh my god, I need to go there." So I was
Yeah.
doing a quick shower and limping back down because Moon just lives direct on the beach.
Yeah.
So it was so beautiful.
It was worth it. Yeah.
Well, right, right. It took my pain away immediately.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we talked a bit on this day, and you just told us you do a bicycle tour in Portugal alone, right?
Yes. So there was a section by myself and then another section with two other people
Mhm.
called Finn and Mud. And so they joined me in, well, Nazaré. They joined me in Nazaré the day after, or 2 days after, something like that.
So beautiful. Yeah, but the part you did on your own bring you a lot wisdom, I guess, and a lot of we can talk about.
Yeah,
I will do it in a row. First
yeah.
question: who are you behind the bike and behind the journey to Portugal?
That's a very good question. I guess from a professional point of view, I'm simply unemployed. I'm a person who's unemployed. And from a academic point of view, I'm a graduate in biology. And from a more personal point of view, I'm someone who really likes the outdoors. I love nature, animals, and I like people. I like people a lot, which I think is like really important when you're traveling. I like interactions and I like watching interactions as much as I like being a part of them. And I have hobbies like photography and dancing and climbing and that sort of stuff.
I was like, as I put on the camera and see you, I was like, oh my God, isn't it strange how we met strangers and they left footprints?
Yeah, absolutely. And it only takes one interaction. And I feel like in the world we live today, a lot of people have become antisocial a little bit.
Mhm.
And in the population is like increasing,
Mhm.
but it feels like our interactions are decreasing and there's less connections. And so traveling was really good to forge in relationships and have interactions with people that I will never meet again, but I will remember them forever.
Yes, totally. I know what you mean. We are the master of our own lives, and if you want to change it, then we have to travel and we have to do it different at our own. So, yes,
Yeah, completely agree.
beautiful. So, the next question is
Yeah.
what made you choose a solo bicycle adventure to Portugal?
It was fairly random because I had only been to Portugal once before, just for a day. So I was in Spain and then I crossed the border to Portugal and then I went back to Spain. And I've heard so many good things about Porto and Lisbon, and I just wanted to see it for myself. And because I'm on a year out from academic work and professional work, I thought to myself that I could really take my time and take it in. I thought that doing it on a bike would be really good to just really see it and experience it. So I left on the 2nd of October and I
Mhm.
came back on the 23rd, 24th, I think.
Beautiful, yeah. So,
Yeah,
3 weeks. So,
yeah. And that was enough time to experience a lot of things.
beautiful. And which cities?
Gosh, so I started in Porto,
Mhm.
and from there I went along the coast. What's really practical about the coast of Portugal is that it has a route made for bikes. So I was kind of following this route, and it takes you down to Lisbon and then all the way down to Sagres, which is at the peak in the south, and then across to Faro.
You saw a lot of important places which
Yeah.
people you have to go there once.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was very, very coastal, but I really liked being near the coast.
Can you say which city or which beach was the best?
City, I would say Porto.
Yeah.
It was so vibrant and you wanted to become a part of it. I mean, at least I wanted to be a part of it when I was there. I actually decided to stay an extra day just because I liked it so much. And people seemed so happy there. And it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful city. And then beach wise, I don't remember the names of them, but there were a couple of beaches where I stopped and I went for a swim with my friend Mud, and it was just so freeing, so beautiful. And I think I hadn't realized how many beaches there are in Portugal that they're just deserted. Nothing, no one's there. And the waves are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just so powerful. And I think it's nice to see such powerful waves. It's a reminder that, we are quite small beings and nature is just so powerful.
Yes. As a woman traveling alone, what surprised you the most about people's reaction?
I think I was positively surprised at how most people are kind and happy to help. I have quite a negative outlook on the world sometimes when I think about other people. And being on this trip was a reminder that the majority of people are actually good people. Um, and I got so many positive responses already from you guys, meeting you and having you around me. Whilst I was on the road, I had Portuguese people clapping and cheering me on. And that's just so lovely. And even just a simple wave from another cyclist, when you're riding for hours during the day, a simple wave can just make you happy.
Totally. And did you have negative reactions too from people from your city?
Um, I think I had like friends that were concerned, but also really supporting me. So every day I would put stories on my Instagram. So I would receive messages that I would look at morning and night, and that really kept me going. I think sometimes I got messages as a joke, like, "Ooh, don't get kidnapped," and it's like,
No, no,
yeah. Um, because deep down I'm like, yeah, that could happen, but yeah. I also got a few negative experiences that concerned men. Basically, once I had a drunk man jump in front of my bike to joke, and it really, really scared me because I thought I was gonna hit him, and I was going pretty fast. And then another time I was riding along a forest, and it was really quiet and I was alone, and this car, with guys in it, just they all whistled. And it's not productive. It makes me feel really vulnerable on my bike because you are just so exposed to the outside world. Like, you're not in your car nice and safe. You're on a bike, and if something bad was to happen and you are completely alone, it's like, who do I call? How do I get help? So, yeah, it's good to be mindful of that. And I think it's really important to promote trips like this, but it's also important to remind people that if they are going to do something like that, they need to do research on who to call if something goes wrong, and, knowing the number for the hospital and things like that, just to be safe. Yeah.
Mm. It's funny that you say that because I know in Germany I would have the same reactions, like really concerning, and people don't feel safe for me. And also in the plane, I mean, I was in a German plane as I got here, and they were like, "And you don't meet anyone?" And I was like, "No." And they looked at me so pitiful, like, "Oh my gosh, why, why?" And I was like, "I'm looking forward to it."
Yeah,
And
can.
every,
Can do it.
every,
Why not?
yes, yes, and every German I met was like, "Oh my God, aren't you scared?" I wouldn't do it. So I did something like crazy. I deleted my whole social media for the trip and told nobody where I go, just the people
Yeah.
who look after my dog. And I came back, I talked with the people who looked after my dog, and I said, "Yeah, there was the one day where I was walking 15 kilometers and my feet were bleeding, and I didn't do hitchhiking because I did not feel safe. I don't have the time to check the people.
Yeah.
So I did hitchhiking another day, but with people who I talked hours for.
Yeah.
And so, but if you walk on the street, you have seconds. You don't have the
Yeah.
time to see what is their intention. So I didn't do that. And then my friends who looked after my dog were like, "You don't do it like that again. The next time we want at least your Airbnb or hotel name so we know if you don't come back or if we don't hear from you where we have to search." Because it would be a long time till they notice I'm not coming back because
Yeah. No one knew.
I had a only one way ticket, and they
Yeah.
told me I have to come back for the healing workshop I host, and it was like a long time. So um till they found out I'm not safe anymore, and till they find me with weeks. And so they say the next time, please tell us at least that
Yeah.
you do a walk alone, and and where your hospital hotel or Airbnb is at least, so we can search for you. And I was like, so I was so carefree and didn't know how this will affect my friends. So
Mm,
I was
yeah,
sleeping totally because I don't have a negative experience, but it could be, right? And so I know the next time I need to give them at least the name where I'm hosting.
yeah. It's good to check in, and it's also really good to, do those things. It's great that you are doing those things, but you need to do it in a safe way.
Yes,
For sure.
yeah. Yes, and it's really special for me too that we have to do it different as a woman,
Yeah.
because I was talking to a man who was traveling alone since years. And he was like, "Why didn't you sleep in a hostel, in a mixed hostel?" And I have to look at him like I looked at you as you said my name. So, oh my gosh, sorry, I didn't realize you have a different reality as a woman. You just don't go so easily in a mixed hostels with strangers like me. And I was like, sorry, I personally, I wouldn't do that just only because I want to sleep in peace, and I
Yeah,
can't deal with strangers, um, not just for safety reason, but also for feeling comfortable. And
yeah.
you slept in a mixed hostel, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I think, like, it's all about being clever about things. As a woman as women, we are clever, like, we have good intuition, we know when we are in danger, and it's all about not putting yourself in a situation where you are in danger, and we're good at that, right? So, yeah, I did share mixed dorms. I never had a bad experience. Everyone there wants to have a good time. Everyone there wants to just travel and meet people. And it was a really good way of actually talking to people. And um, I've definitely, for example, I met this guy who has been to Sri Lanka before. And as I'm preparing my trip, it's so lovely to talk to him about it and get tips and advice on the country and what to do there because he surfs in Sri Lanka. So, yeah, it's just good to talk to people. Yeah.
Totally. Yes, totally. Yeah, and I guess it's a personal thing too. So,
Yeah,
I
absolutely. It's all about what makes you feel comfortable.
yeah,
Uh,
yes. So it wasn't. I don't slept in a mixed hostel because I felt unsafe. I don't slept there because what if I get I don't food poison? I don't know, and need to
yeah,
toilet,
yeah,
and that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
changes, and I felt like embarrassed. So,
Personal
that was
preference.
one reason why I want to sleep in peace and want to have my own place. So because I don't know what can happen there, and so and it was my first solo trip, and I guess I can do it as much as comfortable as I needed. And you just asked in the next question, did you ever feel unsafe? You told me 2 times in the forest and with the drunken
Yeah.
man.
It made me check behind my shoulder a lot,
Mhm.
a lot. And this was in circumstances where I was alone on the road, like with not much traffic.
Yeah,
'Cause it only takes one car, doesn't it? Or like one strange person. But it was actually fine. Yeah, everything was okay.
totally. Yes, yes. And you told us this another day that you were surprised how empty the roads were on
Yeah,
the bicycle streets, and that something like what we women have too is when we get our period. So we have another point which make us feel more vulnerable and
definitely.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. The first day I got my period on the road, I felt so vulnerable, and, that feeling of just wanting to stay in bed. I really wanted to just stay in bed, but I just had a tent and it wasn't comfortable, and so all I had to do was just get on my bike and just enjoy the ride. At the end of the day, it was a beautiful sunny day in Portugal, so it's just better to enjoy it.
Yeah. The next question is, what helped you build trust in yourself and in the role?
I think that by knowing myself and believing in myself, I know that I'm quite autonomous, and I know that, um, in a way, I've got a good sense of, like, I'm clever enough to not make terribly bad decisions. Um, so I just kind of trusted myself. I was like, "If I'm here, it's for a reason, and I just need to trust the process and, yeah, just get on with it and enjoy it as I do it."
Um,
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh. When did you feel the most free?
I'd say on a daily basis, I felt fairly free, and when I felt it the most was when I would arrive at my final destination for the day. So after cycling for the day, I would arrive to where I wanted to arrive to camp for the night, and just the feeling of getting there myself felt so freeing. It was just so lovely. Just ending up in some random campsite in a random place in the middle of Portugal was just so lovely. I really enjoyed the whole process. And I also really enjoyed, after a while, if I was cycling inland for a long time and then suddenly the route would go back to the beach, I would just suddenly see the ocean, and that was so beautiful. The feeling of that is kind of unmatched, and it would make me so emotional.
And I understand it totally.
Yeah.
And I guess the fact that you just booked the flight and did a bicycle solo trip for a long time on the road is also freeing, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The freedom of choice and, yeah, being able to do it, it's such a privilege, and I really, really did enjoy it.
Yeah. We live in a good time, right? Our ancients haven't the opportunity to be this free like we.
Yeah. And I thought about that a lot because every time I would, like, hate myself for, doing this, I would
Mhm.
just remind myself that, this is such a privilege, and it's it's bringing me a lot of joy even though in this moment I feel like crap. So it's just a good reminder. Yeah.
Totally. Yes, yes. So important that you say that because my podcast is also for people who are in a healing journey, and you can put this story on every other aspect of your life, that you are able and have the privilege to heal, to go to therapy, and to go to have so many opportunities to heal today is such a privilege. And I know it by myself that you will feel like crap many times and think, why? Why do I go through all this trauma? Why me? But
Yeah,
you have to say, or you have to change your point of view. And I'm having the privilege to do it. Not many of our ancestors could do that. I would say none. I guess my mother and my father are, because of me, going this way now, but they couldn't very long. So they had to get this old to see it from a different view, and they are on the influence of their parents who couldn't do it. So it's a privilege to be free to search a therapist, to go to healing sessions. And so it's with everything in life. You can ask yourself, do I have to do this or am I free? I'm having a free will and I can change it and have the free will. And it's the most or the biggest privilege we can have again.
definitely.
Beautiful. So you told me that there was an accident on your trip.
Yes.
Can you share what happened?
This was when I was cycling with Finn and Mud, and we
Mm.
had planned a big day, cycling from Setúbal to what is it called? Villanova?
Yes, yes.
Villanova de Milfontes.
How many kilometers are they?
I think it was about 100. I don't remember. So
Yes,
a
it's really
big
good.
day. A big day. And we were making really good progress. We woke up super early before the sunrise. And then we were on this like 10-kilometer stretch on a road. And on this road, there was no separate path for bikes. So I was sharing the road with cars and lorries. And Maud and I were side by side on our bikes. And we were talking about menstrual health, obviously. And then suddenly this lorry comes by way too fast and way too close to us. So I try and get behind Maud as quickly as possible, but I don't brake hard enough and I hit her bag. Luckily, Maud was okay, but I went over the bars of my bike and landed on the road. So yeah, that's basically what happened.
Oh my gosh, yes, and you
Yeah.
hurt yourself pretty bad, right?
Yeah, I did. I don't really remember how I landed, but I just remember getting up really quickly, telling myself, "Get off the road now," um, in case there's more cars coming. And in the moment, I had lots of cuts. So I was bleeding. My hands were really cut, and my shoulder and stuff. And bless them, Finn and Maud took really good care of me. We spent like half an hour just cleaning out my wounds, um, and then we kept going. We kept going, and
Oh.
um, yeah.
Yes, I remember that I write you in WhatsApp, and I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And you totally casual told me that you had an accident, and as you went back, I saw that you broke your wrist, right?
So I flew back to the UK after arriving to Faro. So I was really determined to keep going. And once I was back in the UK, I got some X-rays and I realized that I'd broken a bone in my elbow, a bone in my wrist, and probably my finger too. Um, and so it was kind of a slap across the face. Because suddenly I knew that I wasn't going to be able to be very independent the next few weeks. So yeah.
Yes, but it's also a sign how strong our body is because you say that so casual, but it was 200 kilometers left, right, on the bike, and you traveled with the broken elbow, wrist, finger.
Uh, yes.
How
So
this? Everyone who's watching us, go to the hospital, please.
no, I know. I was just too stubborn. Um, no, so I did have a few days of rest because I just needed a good sleep. I needed to see if my injuries were going to get better. And after a couple of days, things were feeling a bit better. So I decided to keep going. I had strapped my elbow and my wrist, so it wasn't too painful, but it was a bit dumb, yeah. But no regrets whatsoever.
Yes, I can hear it. No regrets. So you have this. You, I'm really clever, and the first thing you thought was like getting off the road, and the next thing you did was like traveling with broken bones.
I know. I didn't know they were broken. I was in denial because I had convinced myself that they were sprains. I just all the time I was like, "It's not broken. It's not broken. It's just a sprain." And and so yeah, I was in complete denial, and it's okay because now I know that I'm okay. I had a cast for like 6 weeks, and my elbow has gained back, the range of motion, so I'm okay now. So I can say that, it was all worth it. Um, But I think what was really hard was how this trip kind of taught me two big things. It taught me, well, it showed me how strong I can be because um, as you're riding every day, your body adapts and you become stronger physically and mentally. And then on the other hand, it showed me how fragile I can be and how suddenly, when you're in an accident, you are not made of steel and things can break and your body needs time to recover. And it's hard to allow yourself to take time to recover because you kind of do it in a way, um, you're like not independent anymore. Like I needed help to shower. I needed help to move things around. I needed help with my bags, especially during the trip. All I could do was pedal. So, putting the bags on and off my bike was really hard. I needed someone's help. And so I just felt like I felt so dependent on other people, and that was hard to accept. But it also made me more, aware that it's okay to ask for help from other people. So yeah, it was a roller coaster, honestly.
I totally understand it. And maybe that was the reason why you felt,
Yeah.
or you have to experience that it's okay to ask for help, especially when you would say before the crash you were someone who didn't ask for help much.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay. And also, it's good to have perspective and think that, it could have been a lot worse. And
Yes.
it wasn't. So it's good to just be grateful and yeah.
And what did your body teach you in recovery as you came back to Bristol?
I guess it taught me that it's quite, fragile and that it needs time to recover. And I need to give it the time and not rush things.
Yes, to be more kind to your body.
Definitely. Yeah.
After the crash, did your relationship with fear change?
Whenever there was a lorry, it would send chills down my spine. And we actually spoke about it with Maud, and she had the same feeling. She was suddenly quite afraid. Um, and it definitely made me more careful and yeah, m- less. Um, I guess I would take risks a little less. I didn't want to put myself in more danger. And yeah,
What did you learn about pain versus your identity?
that's a big one because I do think that sports is a big part of my identity. So things like climbing and, um, even riding my bike, that I think that's part of me. And not being able to do those things were really hard at the start. Um, but I learned to compromise and just if I can't go climbing, then I can try something else. And I actually ended up trying bachata because you can just do it like quite easily. You don't need to use strength to dance. So I started bachata just to, get to move my body again.
Yeah,
Um, and so I've been doing bachata with my partner, and that's pretty fun.
beautiful.
Yeah, now that I've actually removed all of my cast and stuff, I can start more sports and start climbing again and just retrain.
So beautiful. I guess that's so important for many people to do it in small steps. So
Yeah.
they can go back, but they have to be patient and do it in small steps. And then you can go back to your old self, I guess, but with more wisdom and more, I don't
Yeah,
know, experiences.
yeah, absolutely.
So now we come to a special part of our podcast, the
Yeah.
feminist. Traveling alone as a woman is already a feminist act, I would say. How does this trip change your relationship to your own power as a woman?
That's such a good question. Again, I think that it kind of taught me, it showed me my strong side, but also my more vulnerable side. I definitely feel like now I'm more capable, and it kind of taught me that it reaffirmed the fact that I have potential, and I am capable when I put in the effort. So it's made me more inspired to do more things like this, more trips where I challenge myself, because it feels good, and just be okay about myself when I'm not as strong anymore. And yeah, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
Makes sense, and I guess it makes sense because I was traveling alone too, so I do understand more what you're talking about because I was like in a totally different state as I came back. I wasn't the same person that I was when I started, luckily, because I started in a really bad place. And I had a lot of tension and stress and
Yeah.
guilt, I would say. I don't know, it's a German thing, guilt, because of the words we have this in as an energy in the country alone. But I was arriving at Portugal and I met a woman and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you're from Germany, aren't you?" And I was like, "Fuck, do you see this on my face or what?" Germans are really tensioned and really, they look stressed. And on the last day, she told me, "Now you look free. Now you look
Oh,
calm, and you look just like one of us." It was a huge compliment for me.
that's so sweet. Yeah.
It's because I also it was not always sun and flowers the whole trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I never cried more than there, and not so intense because nobody was there, and I don't have to stay quiet. So I was alone in my room, and I could cry if I want to. And I will never forget the day I get my period, and it was full moon, and I was like in the shower, and um you guys were not there anymore, and it was suddenly so quiet. And I was in the shower, and out of nowhere, tears crashed over me, and I was like screaming during my cry, which I never did before.
Letting out so much.
In Germany, I guess, or I don't know, maybe it's the environment where I grew up. It was like, don't cry too much, don't be too much, don't stay silent, don't get the attention of you. And I was in the shower,
Yeah.
and it was so freeing, but
Yeah.
also heartbreaking. I was concerned, and I deleted all my social media, so I couldn't reach out to anyone, which was good because I was forced to hold myself and to sit with the pain and to feel it and can't distract myself like I could here in Germany. And so because you can always go to a friend or do the things there, I didn't have much stuff with me too. And it was the best for my healing because, like you said, you teach yourself you are much more capable of everything. You are more strange and vulnerable. So both sides, and it's okay to feel this and to hold yourself. And so I came back, and yes, I was hosting the healing workshop, and my co-worker quit it one day before and said he didn't come, and I have to hold this workshop alone. And I guess if I wouldn't be to Natalie alone, I would
Mm.
never have the strength to hold this huge emotions alone. But
Yeah.
because it was another way, and I learned that I can hold myself at my worst and at my darkest time, then I know I can do it with others too. And this was the best healing workshop I've ever did for me and for my clients. It was so good that I have made this experience. So I guess also the crush and everything you experience, the fear, everything. Um, is something you can't learn if you stay in your same environment and
Absolutely.
don't step out of your comfort zone. It's not just the comfort zone, it's near the fear zone. It was a leap of faith, right? For every one of us. As a woman, to travel alone to a country you never were, with people maybe you don't understand, and so it's you have to be brave, but it's so worth it. So if anyone listen, I really, really want to do advertising for traveling alone as a woman.
But safely. Yeah.
And also as a man. Oh my gosh, of course as a man, but because we are at the part in the podcast where it's about feminism, so I guess I have to put the women's
Men at the center. Yeah. You definitely do that.
Yeah, beautiful. So I love that you experienced this, and it makes totally sense for me because I experienced the same. And we both told us we will go again, right? And it was not our last solo trip, I guess.
I'm so glad you got to experience all the emotion and that it made you feel better, because it is so important to express our emotions. And I feel like, especially as a woman, we do get called emotional a lot. And, fuck that. It's good to express them, and it's good to cry and laugh and whatever. And I did a lot of that on my bike too. I cried so many times, but like happy tears and sometimes sad tears. And it's just so good to be able to express those freely. Yeah. So I'm glad you got to experience that too.
Yes, I guess tomorrow I will have the interview with Moon. She told me the same. Roommate too. She's a woman too. Everyone I talk to, which travel alone as a woman, told me that they cry more than usual.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is good. It's so good because you don't want to know how many clients I have which can't cry and which can't express their emotions. And this is like a curse for them. They want to cry. They ask me for breathing techniques that they can cry. They ask me for embodiment techniques so they can cry. And if it gets stuck in your body, it's saved. Just like I talked to Maria before with face yoga, you can see it in the face. If someone can't express their feelings, and you just like the woman told me, you can see that I'm from Germany. Um, so sad, but it was like that. And your body gets sick. You have a worse posture. You have problems with going to toilet, everything, because your body told you what you hold, what it holds for you, and what it's saved in the DNA and the cells everywhere. So it's really doesn't matter if someone told you you're emotional, because you can see it as a compliment because you're capable of purification your body with your emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
We talked about women's rights and revolution at the dinner with Moon. What made you so passionate about this topic?
I think it'd be hard to not support this topic as a woman. But I feel like I get quite invested in it from a biological perspective because I studied biology. And so it's easy to notice that the history of science has been centered around males, and it's good now to reinforce the idea that women play a massive role in who we are as humans. And it's good to respect that and acknowledge that and talk about it. And yeah, and I think in the scientific field, this is changing now. There's more research going on now on how the hormones affect us, how the pill affects us, how gynecological diseases are affecting us. So it's changing, but we're in 2025, almost 2026. It's about time. So yeah.
Yes, we are a bit late, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, the women rights, as I've
Yeah.
heard that in the 19th, the law get changed that women can have their own current account by the bank and their own right to choose if they want to work or not. And like I was I was thinking they talk about I don't know 200 years ago, but no, it's it's just before I was born, and it's crazy.
You wouldn't be able to imagine this now, could you? And it is down to education, and it's down to obviously the government. And if from the start we are educated properly, and then good things can happen.
Yes, it can. So that's why I guess we can maybe not change the government or the school, but we can do it in um
Yeah,
our people and for what we do. So just like that we record the podcast for the topic, or that we change how we speak to others, or what we teach kids, which we influence. And
yeah,
so I guess that's a small impact, but if everyone who is, yeah, who have the knowledge, who have the
yeah,
knowledge, can do it, and
yeah,
many people do it in small
yeah,
circles, it will have a bigger effect.
yeah, definitely. It's all about unity and spreading awareness about whatever we're fighting for, really.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you also recommended me the book from Eve, How the Female Body Troll. Oh, yes, beautiful.
There it is. It's a great book that puts women at the center of human evolution. And it's so refreshing because a lot of the history I've learned puts men at the center of everything. It's not until the suffragettes that suddenly we start talking about women. But this book goes back a long way and explains our evolution through the lens of a female. And it shows that women were at the center of civilization through their body. So, how, we can support pregnancy, how we breastfeed, and how we ovulate and menstruate and all that. That's at the center of civilization in a way. And also in the way that we have knowledge in gynecology and things like that. And that allowed us to evolve in such a good way. And it's just a very good book, and I really recommend it. Yeah.
Beautiful. I will put the link in the info box and in the show notes. What touched you the most about this book?
I think there is one thing I like about the book that she says at some point. It's something about the fact that our bodies are like an egg. You know how reptiles have eggs that are quite fragile, and the fetus grows inside, and one day it cracks open and the offspring comes out. For humans and mammals, the egg is our body, and we're like this fragile thing that can crack. And the fact that we carry life inside of us, and we are the egg, is, I think, it's just such a crazy thing to think about. And I like how it shows the amount of just how crazy the whole physiological side of it is. Do you know what I mean? I'm
Yes.
not expressing myself very well, but
But you do, you do. I do understand you perfectly.
yeah, I hope this makes sense. But I just think it's absolutely wonderful that women can carry life, and yeah, their womb is the egg, and that's just yeah.
Crazy thing to think about, yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of other things that she mentions in the book, better things that I just can't remember. But yeah, definitely go check it out.
So yes, I will put it in the info box and in the show notes. So I guess in some way you already answer the next question, because the next question is, what does it change in the way we see women bodies?
Yeah, I think it's nice to think about, like, when I personally think about women, I'm not thinking about the beauty standards that pressure us, you know? I'm thinking about the fact that we are clever and we're strong and resilient and we're so communicative and we like to express how we're feeling, and it comes back to how emotional the trip made us. It's beautiful that we get to express ourselves and we get to cry and laugh. And on my bike, I was just able to cry and laugh and sing and just be happy.
So beautiful. Do you have any knowledge about the female body empowerment?
When you say knowledge, what do you mean by that?
Something that teaches you the book, or something that teaches you in the biology university that you're studying, or something that you just experienced by yourself? Like, oh,
Mm,
I was like, empower myself.
mm, I
Mm.
think for me, on a more personal note, it's about the perspective I've had. Um, because if I have a more narrow perspective on things, I might believe that I need to look like the Kardashians and I need to consume endlessly. And that sort of lifestyle to meet standards, I guess. But from a wider perspective, you get to see that that's not reality. What you see on social media and what you see advertised is not reality. And if you take a step back and look around and like look at your surroundings, you get to notice that reality is it's all about how different we are and how yeah, that's what makes it beautiful, isn't it? The variety and all that.
Different in the outcome, but in the inside, we are one. That is something I've experienced in Portugal,
Yeah.
especially the moment that we are well connected. I was talking with so many people who felt the same, just like the fact about being on the period and travel alone. No matter with how many women I spoke, they all felt the same. They all felt vulnerable and they all were very emotional during the time. And it was healing in some way to feel so connected with such a lot of women, and it made me feel even more proud that I'm able to menstruate, because it's also purification. It helped me let go, and I work with many women. So when they don't get their period anymore, and that's something they miss, and it's something that change them in a way, because
Yeah.
the regular purification is missing and the body needs help from them more to let go, because they don't have this natural way. So you can really be thankful to be this healthy. The body does really, really important stuff for us. And if we don't
Absolutely.
have this, it's missing. You have to work harder to clean your body on a deeper level. It's not just about like go showering, it's about letting go of emotions, letting go of everything that doesn't suit you anymore. So if you look on a spiritual level, the purification is missing.
Yeah. I think that spending time with nature is really important for that. It's important to gain perspective from the world because if you're too locked in into your own little world, then it can probably get quite stressful, frustrating, and I think interacting with the natural world can help with gaining perspective and seeing things that are bigger than you.
Yeah, totally. I can recommend it too. It's so important. And also nature teaches us a lot. I mean, alone, Nazareth waves told me so many things. Um, of letting go of cycles, of emotions, just like the natural rhythm of nature is teaching us so many. Just in winter or in the autumn, when the leaves fall down, the trees all let it go, and know in spring they will bloom again.
Yeah.
And we need to do this too. The trees don't grieve their leaves; they just let go, and now it's time for rest and for reflecting, and then they can bloom again.
No, that's a lovely metaphor.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
so easy. You just have to go outside and I guess look with an open mind to
Yeah,
so you can see a lot, and you if you listen, you will get some wisdom you can't get from books. You need to
yeah,
experience and to feel it. Yeah.
for
So
sure.
just as you said earlier that you were crying happy tears when you were on the road and suddenly the beach popped up.
Yeah,
It's so I can feel this on my bones because it was the same as the bus drove me from the airport to Nazaré, and I couldn't see the beach the whole trip. It was just cities, and then the beach came and I was thinking to I was yes, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. How honored am I? How blessed am I? And so I guess it's all about perspective and how you see things. And if you go with a grateful heart for everything you experience, you will have a grateful life because if you are grateful, it's like a magnet for
for good things. Yeah.
yes, to be even more grateful. Then the next question, I guess we talked about this before, but I can ask you, how do we reclaim the narrative about our bodies and our instincts? You already told nature is helping a lot.
Yeah, for me personally, and just um making sure that we do express ourselves and fight for what we want to change if we want to change anything. For example, like you decided to go to Nazaré to have a different experience and get some distance from Germany. And I guess that in a way is like a small fight, isn't it? It's you fighting that feeling that you got in Germany and you found Nazaré and it made you feel better. And it's just about, I guess, listening to ourselves and just um just if it doesn't make us happy, then change it. If you don't like it, boycott it.
Yes, yes. You say something really big for me because one sentence that is, I would say, a mantra for me in a way is what you're not changing, you're choosing.
Yeah,
Or stop if you complain about anything in your life, change it. We are we are capable of changing things. Are we say it so often in this podcast record. We
yeah,
are so free like never before.
yeah,
And yes, we always think, oh my gosh, then I will be unemployed. Then I will be poor. Then I will be, I don't know. We always think about the worst cases, but you are capable to do hard things and to do the changes. But because I think this year was a year of changes for me a lot. I
mhm,
mean, we are in the year of the snake, and the snake left their skin. So it forced many people to let go and
yeah,
to let go of everything that doesn't fit. And it means we have to be brave to do things we are scared of. And every time I did a leap of faith, the most difficult thing was to overcome the fear and to do it anyway, to do it scared and to do the first step. And after that, everything falls into place. But I have to do it scared because I couldn't say, I feel safe enough. You already enough. You will never be this ready you think you need to be.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Yeah, so what you're not changing, you're choosing is
Yeah.
one thing that brings me to this point in my life where I did so many changes and which helped me grow a lot, but it's also not always comfortable. So I talked a lot to people who told me, "Oh, I'm so angry of you that you do this or that." And then I told them the price of it, and then suddenly they don't want to do it or don't want to have it anymore. So you always have to know that everything you do comes with a price. I don't be this gifted because I just lay down and do nothing. I was not laying in my bed and someone told me, "So now I'll pay you the trip to Nazaré." And so you have to overcome the fears and to what is the price of it.
Absolutely. And we are like, again, this comes back to privilege, doesn't it? Like, we are so lucky to have the freedom to do this. This wouldn't be the case everywhere else. So, yeah, I think it is good to not complain about it and just we can change things. So, if we can, then we should definitely.
Totally, absolutely. I guess that's something that brings traveling other countries along too, because you are forced in some way to talk with the narratives there. And Germany is a land which complains on a high level,
Yeah.
which,
Proud to
oh
be.
no, I can't have 3 trips this year. And I talk to so many Portugal people. They work hard, they work long, they work 7 days a week. They don't have much money, and they were always happy. They were
Yeah.
always friendly, always kind, always open. And even if they don't have much, they share it. They'll think of the others. And it was not about gaining more, it was about sharing and feeling more. So I guess that's something you maybe have to do too, to feel what we talk about, because it's something to hear it, to hear some women talk in the podcast. We are privileged, but if you travel and feel it on your own.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So now we are in the section of so lessons from the road. So of Portugal good talk. What would they say? You are here to learn.
I wrote something a bit cliche. I said that the world is beautiful but also challenging, and there are going to be obstacles along the way, but you've got to believe in yourself and not quit.
Shortcutted of everything we talked about. And now, after the trip, would you say there's something you would no longer apologizing for?
I guess my level of how emotional I can be. I have struggled with that forever, like since my first period. Like as a teenager, I have struggled so much with my mood swings and things like that. And I've, through tracking my period and like working with my period, I've learned how to harness my hormones and work with them rather than against them. And I do that by tracking my menstrual cycle. Um, but I feel less guilty about having those mood swings. I think now I know when they're about to happen because I track my menstrual cycle. And I think that they're useful. They're there for a reason, and I'm not really gonna apologize about them anymore. Yeah.
Yes, I'm cheering for you.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
I love that
And
song.
I'm very lucky to have a partner who is also very caring about that, and we usually for anyone else that struggles with, like, mood swings and stuff, we in a relationship together, we, discuss things very openly, and I let him know when it's the day that I know I'm gonna be really emotional, and that's really helpful, so
Totally. Yes. And so that's, you can only tell him about this because you track it,
yeah,
because you are aware of what your body
yeah,
does.
yeah.
I track my cycle too since years, but this year, I mean, this year was different for everyone. I have so many changes in my cycle. It was not normal, so I wasn't prepared at all. This can happen too, but I guess for that it's also normal. If if you have to know that your body and your emotion and the things you do are really connected.
Yeah.
So anytime I let something go, I immediately get my period. Or I mean, let something go that was huge, not a
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
thing big. Um, so I was aware of that and still thankful. I guess that's what carried me through it. I'm lucky to have this knowledge that this is so connected and that I'm still honored that everything is normal. And I want that if someone listening and have changes, that they reflect themselves, that they do a lot of letting go, that they do a lot of maybe healing their female energy, because that was something that changed in me too this year. That I was in the 8th year of healing my father wound, and so I had more room for healing the mother side too, and heal the female part and my female energy, and that also uh, depends on my period. So ask yourself before you freak out. Yeah, do I work with my female energy? Do I heal my mother wound, or do I maybe let a lot of go? And I mean, I was in the hospital too. I checked myself, so I'm sure there's no clinical
Yeah.
read for it, but yeah,
Yeah.
this could happen too.
That is good because like our bodies are so adaptable. And so when there is a stressful situation or grief or something like that, it can impact how our body works and it can impact your menstrual cycle for sure. I know that when I have periods of like high stress, usually it delays my period, and that's okay. It's just my body like responding to my environment. That's okay.
Oh, yeah. And is there something you're the most proud of after this trip?
I felt really proud about the solo part of the trip for sure. It became easier once my friends arrived, and then later on in the trip, my partner also joined. Um, and that was really important because I couldn't do very much with my hands and my arms. So it was good to have his assistance. Um, but yeah, the solo part I'm really proud of because I I did cover a fair amount of distance, and um, every night I managed to get myself some food. Find a place to stay for the night, and just those basic um, survival things that you need to figure out on the day. And I was proud to achieve those every day.
So yes, you can really be proud of it. I'm it too. And if a woman listen who want to travel alone but is afraid and don't know where to start, what would you say is the first step she can do?
I would say like something really simple could just be going out for coffee by yourself, because there is a lot of that when you're solo traveling. And it's by doing those things, by stepping out the door alone and going to, get a coffee for yourself, you're probably going to meet someone and end up chatting to someone. Something else could be like booking a hostel in a different city for one night and experiencing what it's like to get somewhere by yourself, stay the night, and maybe reaching out to people, to strangers, and then coming back the next day. And that's just like a good first step for someone who's like afraid to take a big leap. I think that's like a good way of testing it in a way.
I would recommend it too.
Yeah.
Start with small things in your city, and by going out for an hour first, then
Yeah.
for a minute, just like you said, you can build it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what would you say did you pack in your heart, not your bag, that made different for this trip?
It's gonna sound cheesy, but the people I love, you know, having them with me indirectly. Like deep down, I knew my mum was proud of me for doing this, and I had my friends on social media, and my partner was always a call away. I actually have like quite a vivid memory of myself cycling down a dirt road that was really remote. I was far from everything. And I had the adrenaline kicking in. And I was like, okay, get in the zone. And then suddenly I get like a call from someone, but it's like an unknown number. And I pick it up and I'm like, who's this? And I hear it's my boyfriend's voice. And suddenly it just felt like home. It was such a weird feeling. I just suddenly felt so reassured and I was like, oh, hi. And it was such a crazy
You-
feeling. But suddenly I felt at home and I felt okay again. And yeah, it was such a nice, thing.
Beautiful. I love that. At the end of my podcast, I always ask the interview partners what is their mantra, their, I don't know, sentence, something they would use often and want to share with the world.
I want people to enjoy life as much as possible. And to use the analogy, like just keep pedaling, keep trying, and things will be fruitful in a way, I hope. And yeah, I just want people to be happy. And it's good to keep the people around us happy too. And yeah.
I love this. Really, really beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this and for your time, for your courage and your light. And thank you for reminding us that we have the privilege, that we are so free and get to share something about the honor to be a woman and to express our emotions. It was so, so nice to have you here. Thank you a lot.
It was so lovely being here. This was really nice. This was a lovely chat. And well done for doing the whole thing in English. That's so impressive.
Yeah. Sometimes I forgot the words or sometimes I misspell it. But my first interview, I was always saying instead of Portugal, Portuguese, and I was so hard as I heard it back then, and I was like, oh. But I let it this way because that's just authentic and think.
Agreed.
Yes, I'm from Germany. I'm not. This is not my native language, so
Yeah.
I can make mistakes, and that's what I want to share with the people too. So
Right.
you don't have to be perfect all the time. And I mean, for me, this is a huge step because I for 10 years I was everything has to be perfect. And
Yeah.
if it's not perfect, I can't do it, and it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. And this is something that teaches me that I'm having my own business because if I would stay this much as a perfectionist, I would never get something done. Never.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's all about acceptance, isn't it? For my first podcast episode, I recorded it on Sunday and with my partner, like we were deciding whether to publish it or not. And I just felt like, no, it's not good. Like it's not a great episode. It's just the introduction though. And this morning, I actually decided to press publish. I was like, it's fine. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's the first episode I'm doing. Obviously, there's going to be some background noise and I'm going to talk weird and it's weird to hear my voice, but it's okay. It's like, it's for fun. It's for me and other people if they want to listen to it. So, yeah.
Beautiful. So, like, that's your second mantra for the people
Yeah.
who accept things more and try it. Do it scared, do it unperfect, do it just at the way you are at the moment because that's where people listen. They listen in their different states. Maybe that you don't have to do it too perfect. They can see themselves as a reflection and as a reminder, oh, okay, I don't have to be perfect all the time too. So just like you said, if you were in your with a narrow perspective, you would think you have to always, I don't know, put makeup on, be the quiet girl, which is clean, which has to consume a lot and so on, because
Oh,
some videos
yeah.
teach us this. And if you
Yeah.
don't do it perfect, they will find it in the internet. Oh, no, it's not always about perfect, just perfect, perfect. making it perfect. It's also about being authentic at the state we are in, and we don't are the same every day. Sometimes you have a better day, sometimes you have a not so good day, and to show up on the not so good day is much
Yeah,
more important
yeah,
for the world than the good day.
yeah. Life is not easy, and it's good to be kind to ourselves, even when even when we're not feeling great, even when we think we're not looking great, whatever. Yeah, we just gotta show some kindness to ourselves and other people.
Totally.
I guess that's yeah.
I will put your Instagram in the info box so the people can support you and cheer you and travel with you in the future.
I
Uh,
have filmed a little, like, Portugal video, so
Because yeah, I will put this video link too. And if you allow me, I will put your podcast too.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. I hope it's okay. I hope I expressed myself in a good way, but yeah, I'm more than happy for you to do that. That's all good.
Yeah, totally. I love that, and I will listen to it too. I'm really looking forward and
It's been long. Oh, it was so lovely talking to you again. Thank you so much. I really
thank
enjoyed
you
this.
so much too. You have a one lesson I have wrote here. May you choose the road that serves you just enough to make you grow wings while riding.
Lovely. That's beautiful.
Um, Always remember, every challenge you face is the start of your biggest